Amid losses, Netflix bets on a bold strategy around video games. And by video games, we mean mobile style cash grabs. Because you know they're not going to be making regular games. You know that none of these big corporations are capable of making games that don't nickel and dime you. A game like Elden Ring was a pleasant surprise and an outlier in that. It's not the norm. Oh, that okay. I know what this is. That's that exploding kittens thing, right? This is what Netflix is betting the farm on. Exploding kitten mobile loot box. Wow, that's totally gonna go well for him. I can already see it. So Netflix has been betting big on gaming, and by gaming we mean mobile gaming, so not real gaming. After announcing its intentions to explore video games, the video game space last July, the streaming service hired multiple executives to significant positions on its gaming vertical over the past few months, while releasing mobile games like Stranger Things 1984. I didn't even know this existed. Did any of you even know about this? And better yet, has anyone ever actually played it? Because that of course, it's all mobile cash grabs. So Netflix is looking at content opportunities around video games from every direction. So it's familiar with the company's thinking toward the Washington Compost. The platform's latest move is to turn the show to video game pipeline on its head, announcing it will take popular tabletop card game Exploding Kittens and produce both a TV show and a mobile game. Dude, this is what Netflix is betting everything on right there. Oh, hey, let's just make a video game and TV show around the Exploding Kittens card game. If Japan did this, I would be a lot more likely to, at least have a little bit of benefit of the doubt for them, because they've proven, like Japan has proven time and time again, that they can take the most ridiculously fucking stupid ideas you could come up with and actually turn them into entertaining stuff. Like your boy Kome today or this season. That's a perfect example. The most ridiculously fucking stupid premise for a show you could possibly have, and yet it's actually pretty good. See, if they handed this off to Japan, I'm quite sure they could find a way to make this actually good. But something tells me they're going to hand it off to their diversity hires instead. So you know it's going to be a disaster. So video games have grown more prominent on the streaming service, whether it's with a TV show turned game like Stranger Things or a video game turned TV show like Arcane animated series based on League of Legends. Netflix has also delved into a third-party game development and original games, though the timeline for releasing its own games is much farther out. Now, actually, this one right here, I think this is a good sign. So I've been ripping on Netflix for years now. I've been ripping on them throughout this segment as well, of course. But I will give them credit for this one. At least they know that it takes a copious amount of time to make a decent game. Now, unfortunately, this is Netflix, so they're probably going to pull a New World on us. They're going to spend copious amounts of time and money, and it's still going to be a dumpster fire. But at least this one decision is actually pretty good. Oh, Flappy Bird, the Netflix original series. I could see that happening too. I mean, they already made an Angry Birds movie, which apparently wasn't all that bad. And Netflix's latest game news comes as the company's stock lost more than a third of its value Wednesday, a day after reporting its first quarterly loss of subscribers in a decade. The service said it lost 700,000 subscribers after pulling out of Russia following the invasion of Ukraine. I think that was 500,000 subs when they cut off Russia, and then the other 200,000 was like lost subs elsewhere. You know, Pong, the game, the movie, the series, the game. Yeah, it always comes full circle, doesn't it? Now, I just wish that the West had the talent to do what Japan does, where they launch multimedia projects. They try it every once in a while, but it's never as successful as when Japan does it. Because like Japan can launch a new IP and they release an anime, a video game, a manga, like all around the same time. I guess the most recent example of all things, it would be Scarlet Nexus. You know, they released the video game and an anime, And I know there's some people here that's like, oh yeah, is this? Is it's a video game or it's an anime tie-in? Oh yeah, it's probably gonna suck. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. They released them simultaneously. It's not like they made an anime and a video game based on it, or made a video game and an anime based on that. They made them at the same time and launched them together. Yeah, I wish the West had the talents to fucking do that. Oh, you know what? Megaron's actually dropping some good ideas here. Since it's a big company making a game in current year, why not make it a battle royale with all the producers playing as characters from their pitch? Whoever wins gets green light for funding. Dude, that would make it. Now they could make that into a show. It would almost be like The Apprentice, kind of. So imagine this: in a Netflix original series that's about all of these producers pitching their ideas to Netflix, playing a death game or something. God, that would fit so well. Yeah, I'd actually watch that. Seeing the boomers fight each other would be fun. I know it would be. The boomers and all the SJW comic pros watching them, have a battle royale. Hell yeah, I'd watch that. Oh yeah, Phantasy Star Online 2, another example. So I know some people are gonna say like, "Oh, what are you talking about, RGE? Like that? The game was out like 8 years before the anime was made, at least the most recent one." Like, yeah, and it did. I think it followed the first 3 arcs of the game storyline, but they released the anime to kind of coincide with and build hype for was it New Genesis or whatever the fuck that was called, which ended up bombing. So that was interesting. All right. Anyway, back to laughing at Netflix. Netflix's wild entry into gaming was an indication that it needs to look beyond video streaming to keep its business humming. So, no, this is true, and we've known this. So, Netflix is a publicly traded company, and literally the only fucking thing that matters is they have to keep growing forever. If you're ever not growing, then you're going to lose all your money and you fail. Like, look what happened to Netflix. They lost a third of their value in a single fucking day because they even though they still have over 200 million subscribers, they lost almost 1 million, so their stock just bombed. And I think Netflix is smart enough to know that they've kind of peaked when it comes to video subscribers. And so they decided if they want to keep growing, they're going to have to expand into other markets. Yeah, I just wonder, when are they finally going to realize that if they want to make money, they have to ditch the woke shit, though? Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Now, the announcement of a cross-category launch of Exploding Kittens shows Netflix's willingness to try new things, but it's not the type of release that's going to save the farm. Now, if Netflix released something like Genshin Impact, that might actually save them. And like I said on Twitter a little while ago, I'm real fucking glad that Genshin Impact exists, even though I don't play it myself, because it's a fucking it's a gotcha cash grab with a rootkit. But that aside, as I just love that as Japan has been moving to westernize their shit and they're censoring everything for global audiences, China came in and made a fan service heavy anime game. Not as fan service heavy as their mobile games, unfortunately, but on PC, that's about as far as you can get these days. And just ate Japan's lunch. That was fucking hilarious. So imagine if someone in the West had a functioning fucking brain and they saw that anime titties sell and they actually came out and released an unapologetically like fan service heavy anime titty game and ended up dominating the market like Genshin did. Oh God, Genshin Impact so censored trash. Yeah, I know they have been censoring it as time goes on, huh? Yeah, they've really been making a lot of mistakes. But when it first launched, yeah, you thought they would have learned their lesson that this is what people want. We actually should add more fan service, not remove it. And nope, they just keep censoring. So hopefully their numbers keep declining in tandem with that. And yeah, Blade and Soul is an anime as well. Yeah, I have that actually. I have it on Blu-ray around here somewhere. It was actually pretty good. Well, not. I mean, parts of it were. I would say it's average at best, really, but I enjoyed it. That would be the best way to put it. As Netflix blames password sharing and high competition for platforms like Disney Plus and Hulu, it's eyeing gaming as the next big opportunity. How about lack of good content? So I can speak for literally every fucking person I know in real life when I say this, but most people I know don't watch more than maybe 2 or 3 shows on Netflix a year. So they subscribe just long enough to watch the few things they care about, and then they unsubscribe until there's something they care about again to watch. So if you want to keep people subscribed consistently, you have to be consistently releasing good content that people want to fucking watch. And Netflix, for the longest time, like they're smart enough to realize that they could crank out woke garbage after woke garbage, but they need at least a few hits to keep funding the woke garbage. So that's been their strategy for the past few years. Oh yeah, let's just make 20 woke shows that are gonna tank and no one's gonna care about. And then we'll fund them with like one Dave Chappelle special or something like that. Yeah, we're gonna throw the fans a bone every once in a while and give them something good and use those massive profits to fund the garbage no one cares about. But little did they know that nobody sticks around, nobody stays subscribed for the garbage. So someone might re-up to watch the latest Dave Chappelle special and then just log off. Now, while the company is focused on creating more hit shows like Squid Game and Bridgerton, it's also buying game studios with a future-facing blueprint. Well, you're going to have to make things like anime titty games if you want anyone to buy in. Because let's be honest, man, I doubt Netflix has the talent to make a game that stands on gameplay alone. So they damn well better have some fan service there to get people in. But I bet they're going to pull a Blizzard. They're going to make some CalArts mobile game. Oh, wait, that's exactly what they're doing. So we've been doing these small acquisitions to build up the know-how and creative chops to be able to make some really great games. Netflix CEO Reed Hastings said during the Tuesday earnings call. Now, that's the problem with these big fucking corporations, actually. I'm not the only one that's saying this, because I've heard multiple content creators say this same thing over the years. These big corporations are incapable of creating anything. Nobody here is creative at all. All they know how to do is throw their money around. So they look out and they see someone creative create something outside of their borders, and then they show up and they buy it. Oh, hey, that's a nice idea you got there. We're going to buy it from you. And then they run it into the fucking ground. And then they don't care because they're just going to go buy up the next thing. So far, Netflix has purchased 3 game studios. The acquisitions of Texas-based mobile firm Boss Fight Entertainment and Finland developer Next Games were announced in March. So yeah, they're going all in on mobile, huh? Okay. Yeah, last September, the streaming service acquired Night School Studio, which made the supernatural adventure game Oxenfree. Next Games released Stranger Things Puzzle Tales last year prior to its acquisition news. So the purchases come at a time when the gaming industry is buzzing with the merger deals like Microsoft's $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard, or Sony buying Bungie for Microsoft's pocket change that they found in the couch one day. So analysts are predicting a further consolidation of the gaming space as game publishers try to stay competitive. Now, I've heard people saying that this is a bad thing, but really, I think this is going to be an indie paradise. If I was an indie gaming dev right now, the only company I'd be worried about potentially, although I don't know, I wouldn't even say worried. I would say the only company whose moves would interest me are Embracer Group. Because while Sony and Microsoft go buying up companies, like I'm quite sure that in a few years, every major publisher is going to be owned by either Microsoft or Sony, most likely Microsoft. But then you got Embracer Group, and the reason I consider them different is because the way they operate, at least right now, they don't ruin the companies they buy like all these others do. They literally just buy a company up and say, hey, keep doing what you're doing, and we're going to just skim money off the top. So I would say Embracer Group is the one major publisher out there. I wouldn't even call them a publisher, I guess, but the one major company out there that if I was an indie dev, I would consider competition, because there's how many hundreds of game studios under Embracer Group, and how many of them are indies and AA. So if you're an indie and you don't sell out, I mean, and you got competition that does, and they get money from Embracer Group and can, dump more money into their project than yours. Yeah, that could be pretty scary. Now, within this ecosystem, Netflix is looking to build out a games business that can create synergy between what people watch and what they're playing. This includes adapting video games like Castlevania, League of Legends, Dota, Cuphead, The Witcher, and more into shows, while also adapting shows into games and tacking its name onto third-party titles. For instance, Netflix branded a League of Legends spin-off game made by a third-party developer, chose provisions as a Netflix mobile game. Jesus, man. Now, if you want to do this right, like you're going to have to do this again, like what Japan did. So remember how we did those Musubi password, the password side quest on Twitch in Scarlet Nexus? That was running live while the anime was airing. So for the first 13 episodes of the anime, they gave you a password that you then and then it didn't unlock in the game either until that episode aired. So if you watch, it actually gives you incentive to watch the anime. So you watch the anime, you actually pay attention, you find the hidden password, and then you go into the game that night. You put that password in, and you get some cosmetic items for that. See, that was actually a pretty good system. That's how you tie shit together. They could have done a bit better. They could have gotten a little bit further than just a few cosmetics and some hilarious entries into the character bios, I got to admit. But that was better than the West does. So Netflix's plan is to stick with mobile games for now as it begins exploring the gaming world, according to a source familiar with its plans. They're gonna fail before they can make anything good. Holy shit, this is gonna be hilarious. All right. So the company will offer nearly 50 mobile games by the end of the year in a market that's already oversaturated. Like, holy fuck, have any of you guys paid attention to the mobile game marketplace? It's almost as bad as, actually, I think it's worse than the MMO market was in the mid to late 2000s. You got how many thousands of mobile games out there? And most of them don't last more than a few months. And then because everyone's playing the same, 20, 30 games, and it takes a lot for them to move away from them. The Netflix app currently advertises its games alongside TV shows and movies. To pull up all the games more readily, users can search for games within the app, and results for games like Stranger Things 1984 will appear with the prompts to download them. Now, this, I'll give them credit again. This is a good idea. If you already have a platform for video streaming, for example, if you got something like this already, of course you should be using that to advertise your other stuff. Yeah, this is good business right here. This is a damn good idea. I'm still ripping on them, but I'll give them credit for this one too. So part of Netflix's gaming strategy has included making key hires. Leanne Lumbe, head of external games at Netflix, joined last November after working at Riot Games as director and executive producer overseeing third-party game publishing. Mike Verdu, Netflix's VP of games, previously led Fakebook's virtual reality division and was an executive at Electronic Arts. Oh, that's not a good record there. Amir Rahimi was president of games at mobile gaming company Scopely and is now vice president of game studios working for Verdu. Well, I guess good luck to you guys. So the gaming division's next big project is adaptations of Exploding Kittens. The mobile game lands first, slated to release next month. How much effort do you think went into that game? If nothing else, I think it might at least look decent. Like, no, that's what they do with these mobile games. Like they often spend a lot of money on the art. Exploding Kittens CEO and co-founder Elan Lee said the mobile game adaptation adapts the Russian roulette formula for the original card game, i.e. draw a card, hope it's not an exploding kitten. While developing the video game, Lee said he asked the question, what do we wish the physical world was capable of that suddenly we have access to in this digital space? Literally anything that would be illegal or you physically can't do in the physical world. Like that's how escapism is supposed to work. You're supposed to be able to experience and see things you can't in real life. I guess you could experience exploding kittens in real life, but it's not nearly as funny when it's real. And new additions to the mobile game includes features like an hourglass timer or a card that lets you draw from the top and bottom of a deck without showing anyone else which card you choose. Now, how are they going to make that into a show? A show about a card game that's all about RNG. And I know card games are all RNG to a degree, but those like Magic the Gathering, you can kind of stack it in your favor as much as possible. But speaking of, Magic went full woke. They've been going woke for a while. Now they're full woke. So, rip anyone who's still playing that. Oh, so Lee said, adding that he drew from his experience working at Xbox as chief design officer until he left in current year -8. The Exploding Kittens TV series is an animated adult comedy produced by Mike Judge and Greg Daniels, coming in current year +1. It's about two cats that come to Earth as embodiments of God and the devil. I bet it's going to be exactly as cringe as that one that Stephen Colbert made. Yeah, once I found out that Stephen Colbert made it, it suddenly made sense that it was so bad. Like, oh, now that does it. Yes, you just need card games on motorcycles. True. Exploding Kittens on motorcycles. Now that I'd watch. So there's an early glimmer of where we're trying to head with this announcement, said Netflix COO and Chief Product Officer Gregory Peters, referring to Exploding Kittens news in a Tuesday call. Now, it's one thing to be the PR person and you have to pretend to be excited about all the stupid shit your company's doing. You got to find a way to put a positive spin on it. But imagine what this feels like for the grunt employees, like the developers that are actually going to have to work on this stuff. Yeah, the fucking nerds on the TV show, like the guys handling the CGI, the animation, the sound effects, like just like grunt level work on any of these projects. How excited do you think they are to be working on a cheap mobile cash-in? And how much must it suck to be expected to pretend to be excited about it? Because this is just, oh man, this is just sad. Oh God, they canceled the Bone animated series for this. Okay, be honest. Do you trust current year Netflix to do Bone justice? Would you really want these lunatics touching a good IP and ruining it? Never forget what happened to X-Arm in Japan. The manga was pretty decent from everything I've heard. And the anime was so bad that it led to the cancellation of the manga. Is that what you want? Are you willing to take that risk? because I wouldn't trust anyone in at least in American Western entertainment to do any of these IPs justice. Now, Arcane was able to get away with being watchable because I think it was a French studio. Oh God, what wasn't X-Arm Crunchyroll? Yeah, it was a Crunchyroll original, but the manga was actually like I don't think the manga had anything to do with Crunchyroll, but Crunchyroll, that they were able to get either they got the rights to the anime or they themselves decided to pitch it and do it. But I just because it's a Crunchyroll original though, I have seen one good Crunchyroll original. I have seen one, and that was Inspector. I had no idea that was a Crunchyroll original because it was actually good. I thought that it was like some of those other ones that Crunchyroll partially funded, or they were on the production committee of it or some shit. But no, that was a full-blown Crunchyroll original. I was so surprised when I figured that out. It's like, oh my God, this one was Crunchyroll original? Holy shit, I couldn't tell because it was actually good. P is called the new game, an initial step on the long roadmap where we have around thinking about how we make the film and series side and then the interactive game experience. Sort of the interplay between those magnify the value for that our members are getting from both. Japan's been doing this for years. How about you just copy them, okay? How about you do that? Lee, the CEO and co-founder of Exploding Kittens, is confident that the card game to TV show pipeline offers their business a significant advantage when it comes to converting TV show watchers to Exploding Kittens fans. People watch the show. Hopefully they fall in love with it because it's really damn good. Come on, guys. It's Netflix. Don't hold your breath, man. And then they go to Target or wherever and they'll see, oh, Exploding Kittens card game. I hope it's good, he said. Yeah, this is exactly how it works with comics, isn't it? Yeah, so all these people who watch MCU movies, like, and everyone who went to see Spider-Man No Way Home and made that movie almost $2 billion, yeah, they all show up to the comic shop. Oh, Spider-Man. I liked Spider-Man. Yeah, it's totally going to work out that way for you, man. It's totally going to work out that way. So, well, the answer is it's really good because it came first, which is very unique to us. It's going to be good in a way a game like Stranger Things can't say for certain because our path is exactly inverted to those. I guess good luck is what I'm going to say about that. Good luck. Oh God, yeah, they got Spooder Miles instead. Yeah, I remember this debate around Riri Williams, actually. I do remember that. Yeah, where the Iron Man movies are big. And, oh, dude, I just saw Iron Man 3. Tony Stark is so fucking awesome. Hey, let me go into the comic shop and pick up Iron Man. What the fuck is this? I want Tony Stark. Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.